Okay, now that I've got a few videos posted, I'm going to go over some of the tools that you kind of need for wood carving. I say need, you can make do without them. It's perfectly fine. I don't know if I've gone over this or not. Knives, though. This is way too big. I'm sorry. All of you who have a nice spring assisted like this or this, I would not recommend using those. This one is not meant for sharpening and doesn't get very sharp. And dulls fast too. This one is just way too big and you're going to end up cutting your thumb off. I almost did that with one of my knives actually, that was this big. I was stripping the bark off a piece of wood and it came and whoop. So if you want to do that, go right ahead. Please wear gloves and please do not cut towards yourself. I was dumb. I was cutting down and I came and I went right into my thumb. Actually, it came this way. You can see the scar on my thumb right there, kind of. It wasn't this one actually. It was a knife that was quite a bit duller. Though it was still very sharp. You could shave with it. The only thing that stopped it was my bone, and that did not feel good. I have no feeling right there in my thumb now. Something like this would probably be okay. It's a little large, but not as large as that. You can see the comparison. So this one would probably be okay. I would do not do this, please. I would not get anything that's bigger than the size of your hand. I know that's still a large knife, but still. Try to keep it below the size of your pinky. There we go. Try to keep it below the size of your pinky. I wouldn't go much bigger than that. My biggest carving knife that I have is my little pencil pouch, because I draw too. These two are probably the biggest knives I have. There's this one, which its blade still doesn't even compare. And then this one. But I designed these ones to be large. These knives are not normally that large. So, yeah. You'll need a small knife. You can go and you can buy a knife. This is one that was bought for me. It was given to me for my birthday. I love it. It's a great knife. It's a flex cut. Goes right on the belt. Just a cutting knife. Or a roughing knife. Yeah. The only bad thing about this though is you cannot sharpen it with a stone. Oh, there goes that. You have to sharpen it like this. This is actually sharpening the knife. You have to get a compound, rub the compound on the leather, and then strop it. I believe I talked about stropping in my last video, and I mentioned that with this too. So, but other than that, it's a great knife. This knife alone is 20 bucks. Sheath is 15. If you buy them together, it's about 30 bucks. So you save like 5 bucks, which isn't bad. Anytime you can save money, because carving is an expensive hobby. Which comes back around if you make your own knives. This is one I was working on a little bit. And then I realized, oh, I should probably do a video on this. So I'll be doing a video on it. This knife's pretty sharp. I had a handle for this one that looked more like that, but it broke on me. So I'm making a new handle. This is in there real good. It's not going to come out. It's a very small knife. This was the first carving knife I made. So I had this one and the other one. I made this because I was carving a bear, and the wood was pine, and it was going and then like slamming, and then it'd break free again, go and slam again. Because of the grains, you can kind of see it. It would like stop at this, go and stop, go and stop. I didn't like that. I didn't want it to damage my nice $30 knife, so I made one. I made this out of a saw blade. Just a circular saw blade. So yeah, you can do that. I'll be making a video on that. I'll be using not a hacksaw, reciprocating saw. I'll be using a blade from a reciprocating saw. If you do that, you want to use a wood saw blade, not one for cutting metal. It will not be as nice. But the nice thing about that, if you go that route, is you can make whatever kind of knife you want, whether it's chip carving, you can drop them. Nice good detailing knife. I made this one too. It doesn't look it. On this side you can tell, but this side it's a little harder to tell. I made this knife though. I made 2 of them like that actually, and I gave one to my girlfriend. She loves it. Detailing knife. This is out of that one for metal. I don't like that. Steel is not very good. This is out of a hack or a reciprocating saw for wood. It's very large, very good. I made one with my friend. He loves his. Sandpaper is what I use to sharpen it. When I get sandpaper, I'll go over that on how to sharpen it with that. And then this is another reciprocating or circular saw blade one. Great knives. You can buy blades. These are ones my grandpa got. He bought these and made them. Gave them to my dad, and my dad gave them to me. Which is pretty great. They mean a lot. There we go. I don't have sheaths for them or a nice good case, so I put a piece of cardboard and electrical tape, and it goes between the cardboard. Covers them pretty well. And I'll be doing a video on how to make those too. So that way you don't end up reaching in and, oh, there goes my finger. It's never any fun. I would recommend learning how to sharpen a knife before you go and make one. Or, yeah, before you go and you do a lot of carving. There are many ways to sharpen a knife. I think these are called whetstones. I don't know. I don't use them. But you put like honing oil or spit or something on it. Yeah, you're coarse. Yeah, coarse, and you're fine. This is 2-sided. This is a cheap one I bought to go camping with, and I'm going to use it to sharpen my tomahawk and my axe. You can go and you can buy diamond stones. Again, coarse, yellow, fine, reddish, orangish. I like these. They're nice, they're kind of expensive. Folds up. It's great. If you go either of those routes, you're going to need a polishing stone. This is one I got at a yard sale. So, it works great. You can also go this route. I'm not a fan of these. I don't know what they're called, V-sharpeners, something like that. This one's $10. This one came with a knife. You just put your knife in there and pull it through. I'm not good at that. You can also buy diamond rods. This was made for sharpening serrated knives, but hey, it's the same thing. You can use that to sharpen them. Okay, you'll need a leather strop, or a piece of leather at least. This is an extra piece for my belt that made like a little gauntlet thing, and I don't like to wear stuff. I'll wear a watch, and that was about it for the longest time. And then my girlfriend gave me a necklace with a tooth on it that she made, and I started wearing that. Well, I wore another tooth necklace before because it was kind of cool. It stabbed me a lot though, so I didn't wear it too often. That's why she's my girlfriend now. She made me that one, and I'm blapping again. It doesn't have to be like this. It can be like this. I've just stapled this on here. I was too lazy to glue it, but it needs to be tightened. You can also glue it on to a piece of wood. This is like very large. I usually use this one to sharpen my gouges and stuff you can see down here. I'll be going over that in a video. So yeah. What I'd also recommend, a polishing compound. It sounds weird, I know. I actually like this stuff. This one came with my knife and I love it. I was skeptical at first, but I've become impressed and now I use it like all the freaking time. I love it. It's great. It actually helps. Another thing you're going to need, I would recommend anyways, is just a piece of scrap. So you can see I've done all sorts of stuff to this one. Test how sharp my knives are. This is aspen, this is bass. Whatever wood you're carving in, I would recommend using that. It doesn't have to be any particular shape. This was going to be something, but I decided, no, I'm just going to use this scrap. So I test how sharp my knife is with this. I like cutting this. This is poplar. But yeah. This was part of the other part of my bison. It was that big block of wood I cut. Anyway, doesn't even have to be squarish or anything. It can just be a stick. This is a piece of cherry wood. I kind of like mine square, so my grandpa gave me these, and I've used it also for my gouges. So this one, I test how sharp my gouges is on this side, and I sharpen them kind of on this side. I'll go over how to sharpen gouges. I should do that, huh? It could also be anything extra from like a project where I cut this in half because you can just, that was a massive piece of wood. So I cut it, and I can use this as a scrap. I'm not going to use this as a scrap. No, I want to carve this, but I can use this as a scrap. Yeah, those are some things I would recommend. That and a pair of gloves, something your knife's not going to go through and cut or stab, so like Kevlar or something. I would recommend learning how to sharpen a knife first. Where'd my knife go? No, I used this one. I'd recommend learning how to sharpen a knife first. My girlfriend sharpened this one for me. It's pretty sharp. But I'd do that before you go through and get all this stuff. Sharpener, very important. You're going to want at least a coarse and a fine, and a piece of leather I would recommend. Because if my knife gets dull, it doesn't actually get dull. I've never had to sharpen any of these knives in here, unless I've put a nick in the blade or anything. I've just taken it and a piece of leather, and I've just come back on a piece of leather, and it's kept it sharp. Never touched a stone. Well, they have, but they've never had to touch a stone in a long time. If you do that, it'll keep them sharp. You do it every so often when you're carving, and it'll sharpen them back up, and you don't have to worry about, oh, I gotta go sharpen my knife again. You go through the whole process. It's time consuming. So if you just keep them sharp, you don't have to deal with that. This doesn't just work for carving knives, this will work for any knife you have. So it's a great tool. I would recommend at least one for your thumb, covering your thumb, and a little bit of your palm of your hand, for whichever hand you're holding the knife in. And I would recommend just a full glove for your other hand. I had one, I don't know what happened to it, which is starting to scare me a little bit. I've poked myself a couple times, and yeah, my knives are sharp, so they like poke. They go in, come out, and you don't really see the wound until you open it, and then you're like, oh, that was smart. Sometimes you just see it, you'll go through and you'll shink, a little bit of skin comes off, that's great. But yeah, I'm rambling again. So I'll be doing a video also on how to make a strop. That's what these are. Just something kind of simple. I'll go through and explain why this one has a little overhang too in that video. And I'll probably end up, if there's enough time, I might even show you how to sharpen some of the gouges and some of the palm tools. So yeah, have fun. Be safe. Just buy a cheap knife and learn to sharpen knives, and then go and get some carving knives or make your own. I'll be doing a video on that soon too. And yeah, just be careful with them. Have fun.